This may very well be the end of YouTube, the end of a platform that was supposed to rival TV networks, the end of a platform that was supposed to be freedom, broadcast yourself. Do you guys remember the 2004 home screen? Look at it behind me. Isn't that nostalgic? For many of you, maybe not, but for me, it's where I first learned the option of choice. You see, I don't know if this happened with you, but when I was a kid, everything was handed to me. I couldn't choose anything I wanted to, whatever books, I was supposed to read that were appropriate, whatever music didn't make my parents uncomfortable. Everything I consumed was passed through a filter first, and I didn't get the option. And it wasn't because everything I consumed was pure disgust and evil and it made my parents cringe. It's because I lived in their house, under their rules. Choice was a luxury reserved for adults. I didn't have that choice. Then one day, the internet happened. It was there. So many things happened. I remember when Netflix first came out and when they mail you a DVD, I was able to choose what I wanted. Every Friday, my dad would take me after school to go to Blockbuster so we could have a movie night. It was amazing. And it was usually movies he chose, but I got to pick one movie. I would pick Chicken Run. I would pick The Emperor's New Groove. I would pick fun movies. And then there was YouTube. YouTube. I would go on the family computer and I would watch all these legends, beautiful, amazing legends that are not even making content anymore. There was an endless buffet of things no one could really control anymore. And that was beautiful because I felt like I was the pioneer of this thing. For the first time, I could choose exactly what I wanted to watch, when I wanted to watch it. No waiting for a show to air, no scrolling through and seeing and waiting for that long scroll to happen. Oh, that was annoying. I didn't have to ask permission to buy a movie. No hoping the one VHS that I really liked wasn't in somebody else's room first. Suddenly, I could fall into a rabbit hole of skateboarding videos, foreign cartoons, documentaries about things my parents didn't even know existed. I wasn't just consuming content, I was doing something deeper than that, something more profound. I was curating my own life, and it was amazing. I could peer into other people's lives, and that freedom was intoxicating. It was outstanding. The most beautiful thing behind this was YouTube didn't care if I was 8 or 18. Netflix didn't lecture me about whether a show was worth my time. It was my choice, my taste, my world. The internet gave me control over something my childhood never did, my attention. And once I tasted that kind of agency, I cannot go back to being spoon fed. Every attempt now to shove us back into safe feels like an insult. I grew up finally steering the car. Now they want to put me back with the booster seat. And this is insane to me. I am not a fan of any of the policy laws. But I want to tell you really what YouTube means to me. YouTube used to feel like wandering into the biggest, weirdest library in the world. Every dusty book, every shelf was alive. They were talking to me, showing me things I didn't know, and I didn't have to read. They were all audiobooks that streamed directly into my head, and I got to choose because the cover told a beautiful story. The thumbnails, while not always prolific, still gave me an idea. It wasn't always about thumbnails, it wasn't always about viewer retention. It wasn't algorithms surgically feeding me things I chose because I chose it. It was more so about my curiosity. I would click on something because the title, it intrigued me. It wasn't optimized to trap me. It was free, purely free. Not just in the sense that it didn't cost money. No, no, no. It was the stumbling upon a different world free. It was, you'd never consider this free. No one was trying to sell me anything. There was no ads. I could watch an anime show in a language I didn't understand, interpret the meaning, and lie to my friends at school that I understood Japanese. It was amazing. I loved it. And I would tell my friends spoilers saying, Sasuke, he turns and he gets wings. Sasuke gets wings. No, he doesn't. It doesn't make any sense. Sasuke got wings. I was right. I remember when channels like Smosh and Shane Dawson, but before the scandal, Kev Jumba, Ray William Johnson, Philip DeFranco, They felt like friends. I still remember when Ray William Johnson said the N-word and pulled out a lightsaber and sliced the screen. That was psychotic. I'm not gonna lie to you. They weren't productions. They were people in their bedrooms with webcams. They had bad lighting. The kind of authenticity that you can't manufacture. You didn't care if the audio sucked or if the camera shook or anything of that variety. Nobody knew how to edit that well. When they did edit, it was an amazing thing. And it felt like I could do it too. I felt like I myself could be a YouTuber. When I saw Hollywood Productions, Will Smith, and all these other people that were outstanding, I didn't really think I could make it to that level or plateau, but YouTube was the entry point. A lot of people use that ability to plateau and become higher than what they already were. Some of them making their own stations. The Zeus Network was made by YouTubers. Things made by people on the internet. It made me feel powerful. You could feel that they were trying just to make it, not because a manager or some great content team told them to. They performed well without their audience demographic information. It's a big reason why I don't script videos. It's a big reason why I just speak. It's a big reason why I do things. I didn't think anybody scripted their videos, but every time it seems as though people think I'm scripting. I didn't know you could do that. It seems like a lot of work to read while I'm talking, to be quite honest with you. I don't want to do that all the time, especially when I'm basically speaking from my soul. I can't really infer what I'm going to say. I don't want to do that because it would cause so much disruption in my thought flow and process, and it would ruin my rambles so much, so much, so much. The best thing to me about old YouTube was you could learn anything. You need to fix a bike? There was some guy in overall showing you how in his driveway. Want to understand quantum physics? Minute physics and Vsauce would blow your mind in ways you never did. Cooking, music theory, how to whistle, weird conspiracy theories that were clearly nonsense but fun to watch anyway. It was all right there, waiting for you to click. You didn't even have to know what you're looking for. The magic was discovering this wasteland of things that nobody knew existed. There was a strange sense of deep connection back then. Comment sections weren't destroyed by all these troll riddle people and disgusting nonsense. You see the same username popping up under videos because little micro communities became built in real time. Justin Y, the guy with the mustache. You guys remember those people? Oh my God. Collaborations felt like they were friends. It was crossover episodes. They were forming over state lines, continents, even time zones. YouTube made you feel as if you weren't alone in your weird, stupid little interest. And that feeling, you could not put a price tag on it. It was beautiful. I recall my dad watched me watching Harry Potter Puppet Pals. I remember this. And then I was watching Blender reviews. I'm not sure why I was watching Blender reviews, but I was trying to just figure things out. I couldn't figure out our blender at home. Not gonna lie to you, I was just watching Blender reviews and it let me down a thing. And he came in and said, "This is a waste of time. It's not gonna amount to anything." They thought the internet was a phase and YouTube was a place for dumb videos. What they didn't understand is that we were watching a new kind of art form and grow in real time. And I was there, patient zero, ground floor. I asked my dad for a camera and he said, "No, you're not gonna get a camera. You're going to go to college." And I said, "Well, that sucks. That's garbage. I hate every second of that." We were a part of the first generation to have a truly global stage. Some of those waste of time videos became cultural landmarks. They did. Some of those nobodies in their bedrooms became household names. Corey Kenshin, Markiplier, PewDiePie, even Mr. Beast trying his best because he had to start somewhere. Back then, no one, and I mean no one, cared about ads. There weren't many. And when they started to show up, they were basically just little speed bumps that could be stopped with ad blocker. And they didn't have unskippable pre-roll and mid-roll breaks cutting into the essence of the video. It didn't feel like every creator was balancing a spreadsheet to decide, okay, what can we say to not get demonetized? People literally broadcasted themselves. The site's original tagline wasn't ironic yet. It was a deep invitation, and it was lovely. What you'll discover about a lot of YouTube channels that have millions of subscribers is that some of them make less than me, and that's weird to hear. There is a lot of animator YouTubes that make a lot less because they're using things that have shared monetization between the content copyright striker IDs. And there's a bunch of people that don't make any money from any of the YouTube endeavors because they're reviewing kid shows, and those kid shows are actively taking everything out of them. So they'll make Patreons and other things of that variety. And those people are, to me, very authentic because they can't just make a channel as I do where I barely use any unlicensed music. The music I use in the background is from another YouTuber. It's Ludwig and Schlatt's Music Emporium. That is where I get all of my music for the background of these videos. I speak in front of a green screen because I want you guys to be here for me. I'm broadcasting myself. Money is not my driving factor, but I would hate for my videos to be taken down because of some copyright stuff. Hence why I don't do reactions, as if some big reaction channels end up getting copyright strike, copyright claimed, and that could risk their entire channel. That was a big issue. That was when YouTube began to become more tailored for the advertisers. Money in the beginning of everything was not the biggest driving factor for everyone. Sure, some people figured out they can make it a job, but most creators, they were just uploading because they had to. They just had to because they needed to share their ideas, their humor, their art, their experiments. They weren't thinking about sponsorship deals, merch drops, and brand safety. They were thinking about how to make the next thing that would make you laugh, think, or feel something. That purity is really, really, really gone. It's replaced by algorithm games or content schedules, and it's disgusting. What's the best time to upload? How do I start this? How do I get people to look at my video? I gotta optimize my thumbnail. There's a beauty to the way that I've chosen to do things, and I sound a little conceited when I say this, but I'm sure you've noticed that a lot of my thumbnails are exactly the same. Mostly because it's very easy for me to make a video that way. It's easy for me to get a thumbnail that I can make within 12 seconds. Just make the thumbnail, use my face. It's super simple. I can put some text at the bottom and hopefully you'll click it. It looks semi-okay, medium level, looks kind of fine. I don't have to optimize the best facial reaction and test all these different thumbnails to figure things out, the best titles. I just say whatever on my soul. I don't script things because, well, that would distract from me. It would destroy a lot of how I operate. The reason I'm able to make so many videos and I don't care about how much I upload in a singular day is because, well, guess what? I love this. I'm not getting burnt out doing things I want to do. I make these regardless. I made these to no one before, and now I actually have people. If this video gets 1,000 views, I've succeeded in what I want to do. There was a bravery to previous YouTube. People would post without worrying about being perfect, without fear of being buried or for not hitting the right keywords or losing subscribers for trying something new. Experimentation was everywhere. Short sketches, weird, animated loose, homemade music videos, endless vlog series about nothing and everything. The platform rewarded creativity for creativity's sake, not conformity to a set of rules handed down by a machine. This was YouTube to me. YouTube. That's what it was. A lot of short sketch channels barely make the money they can, and I watch a lot of them. Chris and Jack, a great YouTube channel you should probably watch. Sylvanas, which is probably spelled wrong because of the auto-generated captions. I'm probably gonna have to fix that, but he's a black content creator that makes really good stuff. My Senpai makes really good stuff, but they don't get paid enough. Andrew Russo makes really good content, but I'm sure he's getting pennies on the dollar for his shorter form stuff, despite the fact that it's amazing. Caleb City, RDC World, all these people, these skit channels, they're keeping the real essence of YouTube alive, but they're shifting to longer form content. Because money. Because they don't feel the passion and joy, because their passion is not rewarded. And that is the most heartbreaking thing of all for me. Back when YouTube was open, you would see the strangest things of all time. Newgrounds level animation, Rusty Spoons level animation, Salad Fingers. Oh my god, that was strange. Llamas with hats, Charlie the Unicorn, all strange. Videos that didn't fit into a niche or content bucket, they didn't do that. People would upload 10-second videos of a raccoon eating grapes. That's what they do. An hour-long rant about the ending of a video game, and it would still find its way to millions. The discovery felt organic, like the platform was a living organism passing along something cool it found. That was really nice. Now, you guys probably won't even see this unless it pops up in your For You feed or your algorithm because you're curious about content. And I titled this video The End of YouTube because I, in a way, knew that people would click on a video. Back in the day, when I was uploading, I've been uploading for a long time. I've lost a lot of YouTube channels for nonsense reasons like copyright claims and stuff like that. So I don't use anything, literally anything. We all felt like pioneers, even if we were just watching. Every video you clicked felt like you were stepping into a room no one had seen before. No one ever saw it, untouched land. You didn't know who you'd meet there. It wasn't just entertainment. It was an exploration. We were building an archive of human creativity. One shaky cam upload at a time. And for a while, it felt infinite. I think that's what hurts now. The fact that so much of that wild, untamed feeling had just been paved over in favor of curated, advertiser-friendly sameness. YouTube didn't change its layout or policies all at once. It changed something even deeper than that. It changed its very soul, its essence. It traded spontaneity for optimization, community for audience metrics, human messiness for algorithmic predictability. We didn't just lose a website, we lost a frontier. And that is horrifying. Maybe that's why nostalgia for old YouTube really hit so hard for me. It's not just that the content was different, it's that we were different when we watched it. We were discovering ourselves while discovering the internet, and YouTube was a place where that was possible. It was raw, imperfect, and free, and nothing else has ever felt quite the same since. No Facebook, no Instagram, not even TikTok feels the same way. It just doesn't. And then it started. The ads. You may be too young to remember this, and hopefully you're not too young so you can watch this video. There was a time when YouTube ads were barely a blip, just a tiny bump before the video you actually wanted to see. They were harmless, even forgettable, and for a while nobody minded them. Then came the partner program, and with it the promise that creators could finally make a living doing what they loved. Oh man, it was revolutionary at first. I don't know if you were there. It was revolutionary. People could quit their day jobs and pour themselves into fully making videos. But behind that promise was the first crack in the foundation. Money was tied to ads. Eventually, the creator would start having to shape their content to please advertisers, not their audience. That's when the slow, quiet shift began. And it was insane to me because the early warning signs were easy to miss. Certain videos just stopped getting recommended to me. Certain topics just faded from conversation. Words that had been normal became taboo. If you wanted to get your video to stay monetized, you couldn't say the words you wanted to. It was as if an invisible fence appeared, and everyone knew that getting close meant your video would be demonetized or buried. And maybe that fence wasn't YouTube's mysterious algorithm. It was the advertisers deciding what kind of world was safe for their brands, whether or not it matched the real world we lived in. And this was really bad. Someone correct me if I'm wrong because I refused to do the research for this. 2017. I believe 2017 was when the first ad apocalypse hit. When big brands panicked after finding their ads on unsafe videos. Oh my God, it's so bad. YouTube responded with a massive crackdown, instantly gutting the income of thousands of creators. People who had built entire careers around their platform woke up to find their revenue slashed either 1/4, 1/8, 1/12, or just gone completely. This was the first moment fear became baked into the DNA of YouTube. Every upload became a gamble. Every idea, a calculation of, okay, will this be worth it if I lose monetization? Is it fun to put this little clip in here? Is it fun to say a swear word? Could I do this? It was really, really bad. The following years only tightened the screws. Indefinitely in the entire system, the cogs in the machines were annihilated. Entire topics, politics, societal issues, social issues, adult humor, they were deemed brand unsafe. Creators who had built their entire audience on raw, honest, or edgy content either had to pivot to safer topics or watch their channels slowly starve. Old videos were deleted, archives gutted, identities reshaped to fit the new rules. The unspoken truth became obvious. You weren't making videos for your audience anymore. You were making them for advertisers and hoping the audience would still stick around. This was really horrifying for a lot of people who wanted to make this their dream. It sucked. Now, I was using AdBlock, so I didn't really see the big amount of ads everybody else saw. I almost never ran my computer without AdBlock. Then something horrifying happened. I think the worst thing ever is something that I have not taken yet, but I may, who knows? Sponsorships. AirUp, HelloFresh, Blue Apron, Raid Shadow Legends on every video, NordVPN. It was small at first. It was very small at first. It was an occasional shout out at the end or the start of a video. Soon, middle of the video, just people were doing whole skits for advertisers, just dancing for the sponsors. This video is going to be demonetized, so we're taking on this sponsor to make sure everything goes good. Welcome to this new product, Dollar Shave Club, a subscription-based shaving service where you can, this is psychotic. Oh my, I don't even shave that much. Why am I doing Dollar Shave Club? Well, I already built the audience with these people. You have this parasocial relationship, so sponsors knew that it would work. Sponsors were the money for a while. It became an insurance policy against demonetization. Ironically, many of the same creators who told viewers to just skip the ads became the ads themselves. Oh yeah, here goes a mobile game you should like, here goes a subscription box, here goes a new VPN. It wasn't greed, dare say, it was survival. And that's where it blurred the line between creator and salesman, till you couldn't tell where the art ended and the commercial began. The most I'll ever tell you to do is follow this creator right here. See this creator? This is Oni Cora. That's pretty much the only creator I'm gonna have you follow. I'll put her link in the top description. It's an Instagram page that I think makes really good art. That's pretty much all I'm gonna promote here. That's all I got. That's all I got right there. That's it. If you want to follow, if you got Instagram, that'd be great. But if you don't, I really don't. It's your decision. I'm not gonna force you. You don't have to do it. That's why every time I have a lot of sponsor pitch meetings that happen, and people will speak to me, and I'll ask, "Can I say this in it?" And they'll say, "Well, we would prefer you if you did." And I said, "Then we're wasting my time here because I'm not gonna change my content for you guys." I have received at least 50 sponsorship requests, at the bare minimum 50, because I remember 20 of them and 30 of them are in the back of my head. And every time I've had a conversation with these people, they always want me to dilute who I am. When they say they love who I am, they say, "We love your content. Could you do an ad for us?" And I'll say no. And that happens a lot. I saw the timeline like years before it happened. The YouTube that I once knew completely destroyed. They tied creative survival to advertiser approval, and I was witnessing it. And I said, eventually, this is going to get really bad. The culture was always going to bend its knee. Always. I remember we tried to fight back. There was a Patreon, merch sales, alternative platforms. You guys were saying, "Oh man, we could go to a different platform. This is going to be so cool." You won't. I know you won't go to a platform. I know they're doing a boycott. Pretty sure the day this video releases might be the day of the boycott. Who knows? Depends on how I'm feeling. It's August 12th right now, and I'm recording this as soon as I wake up. Who knows? Nothing could compete with the stability advertisers offered. You know how much money YouTube pays? It's crazy. It's nuts. Some guys are making $30,000 uploading one video a month. Every month, $30,000, one video a month. And that's crazy. With each passing year, the wild edges that were YouTube are getting sanded down to fit brand safe molds. This site isn't chaotic anymore. And that's why I make chaotic content. That's why I don't fit into a niche, because I want to bring that back. I'm not here to give you some curated fun content or tell you about something that, oh, this is going to be great. I'm going to do all this research. I'm going to be wrong a lot. I am. I'm really going to be wrong a lot. I don't have a production team. I don't have a thumbnail artist. I don't have scripts. I don't got nothing. Nothing. See that thrust? Nothing. I got nothing. I really do. I'm just going to make videos, and if you guys like it, stick around. If you don't, then by all means, find a better content creator. You guys often tell me, I'd prefer it if you did this. That's cute. I don't care. I'm not making videos for people. I'm making them so I can yap. I'm trying to talk. That's all I'm doing. YouTube nowadays looks like cable TV with better lighting. And I hate that. All these podcasts, high quality productions. You know how I got this microphone? One of my friends just gave it to me. That's it. I was going to use a Snowball or a Blue Yeti. Someone just gave me this microphone. I was really happy. I had 2 of these and I gave one away because I didn't need 2. I don't have anybody else to speak to here. Yeah, that's what happened. Welcome to YouTube now. Nobody has freedom to do anything. And the freedom feels as though you're holding up the earth. All of it, every single smidgen of it. The freedom is if it's the same freedom when you go to Walmart and you see all these options, but you're going to pick the same thing every single time. That's what's going to happen. It sucks. I'm not the only creator that refused to bend the knee. Some of them kept their content raw and unfiltered, knowing full well they'd make way less money. And I know a lot of you love them for it. But for most, the grind of demonetization threats, algorithm punishments, and sponsor chasing wore them down. Self-censorship stopped being a choice. It became muscle memory. Before long, even the edgy creators had neat sponsor segments. You guys remember iDubbbz? I don't. Remember iDubbbz TV? Remember that? Huh? Remember that? Remember him? Yeah, no, he's nothing now. Nothing. Everything has become perfectly timed for maximum retention. I'm not gonna do anything to make you stay for this video. The audience signed up for an infomercial with occasional jokes in between them. That's what it is. That's all that happens. It's easy to say, just ignore the ads. Just ignore them. But when the ads are coming from the creator themselves, skipping them can feel like skipping the price of admission. The economic reality is brutal. Ad revenue isn't just background noise, it's literal oxygen for a lot of people. I work at Amazon. I'm not worried about advertisers right now. I still got a 9-to-5 job. That's right. I work 30, sometimes 50 hours a week at Amazon warehouse. I do pick. I do pack. I unload the truck. I have fun. Sometimes I'm a water spider. A water spider is a guy that runs around with a cart and tosses crates to people so they can put them in special bins to go to pick, and then pick goes to pack, and then pack gets shipped out. That's what happens. Sometimes I'll be a delivery driver, but I lost that privilege because I got into 1 car crash, well, actually 2 car crashes, of me getting hit, and Amazon revoked my driving privileges, which really sucked. That was 24 an hour. That really sucked. I hate every second of that. That was the worst feeling on the planet. Anyways, what happened is that advertisers and sponsors, that's the true audience. That's what happened. And in that environment, the creators who thrived were the ones learning to package themselves as both entertainer and commercial, whether they wanted to or not. Sadly, I can't read scripts. It's a big thing there. I'm really bad at reading scripts. I'm genuine dog water at reading and talking. If I read an advertisement, it would look, this is what it would look like. Hey guys, you should try AirUp. AirUp is a brand that AirUp is really, firstly, my computer screen is too bright. Even if I had sunglasses, like, can I read with sunglasses? No, I can't. I pulled up the AirUp thing in between me doing little cuts. It's really hard to read from this distance. I cannot read this. I can't read that. I can't. Do I need glasses? I think I may have discovered something. No, I don't need let me get close. Hold on. No, I can read. Okay, if I get close, I'd have to make videos this close. I'd have to sit down for every video. I have to get this close to make a video. I don't want to do that. That's not what I want to do. I want to be far back and just looking like this. I don't want people to comment on my eyes, so I just genuinely, I'm not insecure with my eyes. It's just annoying to hear every single time someone comments. I'm going on a tangent when I'm talking about YouTube. This is what real YouTube should be. It should be a real raw conversation about people. This is how it should be. You guys ever try a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but you pan fried it? You put banana in the middle. You ever try that? Really good. You should try that. Anyways, next cut, I guess. Next cut. Looking back at YouTube, it feels almost inevitable. The moment money became the main driver of the platform, YouTube stopped being a stage of expression. What happened is that everybody thought it was a marketplace for brand safety. I mean, we fought, we complained, we begged for a version of YouTube that could sustain creators without sanding them down. But the tide was always moving towards advertiser and sponsor donation. The tagline, broadcast yourself, it feels like a relic from another planet. A promise the platform doesn't even try to keep anymore. It doesn't matter. The saddest part is that we didn't lose YouTube all at once. With little cuts, a policy change here, a demonetization there, a sponsorship segment where there didn't used to be one, until one day we realized that the platform that once gave us unfiltered creativity now gives us carefully polished content designed to please three audiences in this order: advertisers, sponsors, and then, if we're lucky, us. I criticize MrBeast a lot, but he has perfectly figured out how to do both at the same exact time. He has mastered retention, sponsors, creativity in a weird way, and it is very strange, to the point where it's always bigger and better. It feels as if I'm watching a highly produced TV show. He has an entire team of assistants, script writers, and a bunch of people, and he may remain at the top forever because he figured it out. He figured out exactly how to get advertisers and sponsors to love him, squashing every controversy, people despising him. And I finally understand why people dislike MrBeast. I finally get it. Most people do not hate MrBeast. And this is going to sound strange to say that because I'm pretty sure you hate MrBeast. They hate what he represents. MrBeast represents the shift of new YouTube. He is the blueprint that everybody else followed. You hate MrBeast because he is what YouTube is now. He's content friendly. He's curated thumbnails. He's highly edited. He's production. He's script based. You hate him because he seems perfect when you know there's something lying beneath, because you know in YouTube, with advertisers, with big corporations, there's something lying beneath. You can't just outright hate the corporations. MrBeast gives you a face to hate. And I understand that. He became the martyr of pure hate. Same reason why I despise Elon Musk. He's the billionaire that I know I can openly hate because he's the only one I really know. I guess there's Zuckerberg and Bezos, but I know Elon. He blocked me on Twitter. I know him, but I still see his posts. I know him. I really do. That is the worst thing of all. Sadly, MrBeast has the cross to bear, being the devil that we love to hate. And I'm not saying don't hate MrBeast. I'm saying I understand the reason why you hate him. And it's a fair and good reason, honestly. Probably the part of the video everybody came here for. Thank God I titled these things right. YouTube has finally taken the last step from being a platform where you can freely explore the world's creativity to becoming a literal digital bouncer. It demands to see your papers before you even allow in the door. I know that a lot of people are going to tell me it's about Ace Check, but that is not the case. This is handing over your government ID, credit card, and every scrap of personal information you've got just to watch the kind of videos you've been enjoying for over a decade without a problem. And they're telling us it's safety. This is control, obviously. It's the kind of control that doesn't go away once it's put in place. What's being dressed up as protect minors is slowly becoming a slow rollout where the internet is losing anonymity. And I want you to really realize that. If YouTube AI thinks you're under 18 because you watched a certain type of video or searched a certain topic, you're locked out until you prove them wrong with hard identification. And if you think that process will be secure, private, and handled with respect, you're dreaming. Once you upload your ID or credit card, that information is now in their system, and it can be up in their system for 2 months or 2 years. It is tied to your viewing habits. It's stored in a database that can be mined, sold, and subpoenaed or leaked. You're not just proving your age, you're surrendering your identity. I want you to really recognize that. This is the final form of YouTube as the content police, where access is granted, not based on trust, no, pure documentation. Here goes the scariest part of it all. They don't have to censor you outright anymore. I know people are upset about bots being in comment sections and saying we should crack down on bots. That is not the case. They can make it just as painful and invasive to access certain content. Most people won't bother to get VPNs or all this other stuff, and this won't destroy the platform. People are doing this big boycott, this big outrage, saying, oh, I'm not going to use YouTube. Really? You're going to use TikTok and all these other things? I'm going to use Odyssey. I'm going to find another website. No, you're not. You're going to default back to YouTube. You're going to find your big creators because they're not going to move. There's no guarantee the other platforms have that ad money. No guarantee. That's why I talk so long about it. There's no guarantee those sponsors will move to another platform. And if the ad money does move, it's just a matter of time before the other platform adopts the same strategy as YouTube. There's no big scandal, no big outrage, just a quiet bureaucratic wall between you and the things you want to see. What about the people who can't safely give YouTube their ID? Think about those people. Activists in hostile countries, LGBTQ plus youth in unsupportive households, people with abusive families who monitor every bill and bank statement. Think about those people. Think about the journalists who are doing hard work, that are doing undercover work to make sure we get real news. By building a system that requires official proof to even exist on the platform, YouTube isn't just protecting anyone. They're actually locking out the people who need the internet's freedom the most. They're doing it in the name of safety. They're creating a two-tier internet. One for the verified and one for the voiceless. Strange way, I feel like YouTube has been waiting for a long time for an excuse to get the information from all of us, and they found the guys through child protection laws. This is the same company that spent years ignoring all the content that was clearly in some aspect predatory. Then advertisers got angry. Oh my goodness. And then swung the pendulum so far the other way that legitimate creators were demonetized into oblivion. They don't do this because it's morally right. They do it because it's financially safe. If they have to burn the open internet to keep the brands happy, they're just, all right, I need money. I'll toss the match without hesitation. And think about what this means for the future. Once you normalize the idea that I need to give up your ID to watch certain content, the scope of what requires verification will only grow. Today it's mature videos. Tomorrow it's politics, medical discussions. Oh, they can't learn about male phallic members because guess what? You need an ID to witness this. Oh, you can't learn about hair growth because you need an ID to witness this. Oh, soccer's a bit dangerous. You need an ID to witness this. Undertale touches a lot of themes and it actually goes into a lot of fan art, and the fan art is bad, so Undertale must be bad. So it requires an ID. Anything a government or advertiser decides is sensitive will require an ID. The infrastructure will already be in place. And it won't matter who's in charge of YouTube at the time. They'll just flip the switch and you'll be locked out unless you comply. That sucks. The most agitating part about this entire thing, this is just the most annoying, infuriating part to me, is that the entire premise is already flawed. It's so stupid. For instance, when I was younger, there was parental controls on my devices. Well, guess what? Kids who want to get around it will. VPNs, fake accounts, borrowed devices, anything to bypass the system built on the assumption that young people don't know how the internet works. And as soon, you know what's going to happen? A young kid is going to be using a device, probably their parent's device, and the camera is going to scan their face unprompted and say, "You're a child," and lock them out. And you're going to be confused. How did they do that? How'd you get access to that? And that's where it's going to all begin. What this system really does is inconvenience and monitor the law-abiding users while doing almost nothing to stop the ones it claims to target. That's what it's doing. It's the equivalent of locking all your valuables in a clear plastic box and pretending no one knows how to pick the lock. Well, they're locked in here, but it's a classic box. Yeah, but they're locked in here. Nobody's going to know how to pick this lock. We've reached such a point with YouTube. It isn't just moderating content. No, they're moderating me, viewers, content creators, everybody. They're monitoring everyone. They've gone from telling the creators they can and can't do this. You can't do that. You can't do this. Now they get to decide what they can and can't see. Unless you want to be fully cataloged. I remember broadcast yourself. All right. Who is yourself? Okay, I don't want to tell that I have a curated person. No. I want yourself to be verifiable, traceable, legally binding. Who's yourself? Come on, broadcast it so I can know. They're never going to unknow it. They're going to store that information for a while, and you're stuck. It's horrifying. This is the end of YouTube as the global commons. The end of stumbling across strange, beautiful, and uncomfortable ideas without the fear of having your personal identity tagged to your curiosity. The end of that late night rabbit hole where you learn something incredible from a stranger across the world without having to hand over your government name first. We've gone from freedom to a gated community with a clipboard at the door. The only price of admission is you. And you have touted and claimed for years and years, my information isn't that important. Google can track me. You can figure it out. Now they're actually doing it, right? Your information is not that important, right? Right, really. Now it is. Your information is wildly important. Your information wasn't important when you didn't know it was secretly done in the background. Now, they gotta know. That's the saddest part of all of this. YouTube doesn't have to destroy what it was. It chose to. They decided that advertiser comfort and corporate liability mattered more than the messy, unpredictable beauty of an open platform. You know what's crazy? They have leeway, they have leverage, they could talk to the advertisers. The magic is gone. This isn't the future of the internet. This is the funeral. This is the end of YouTube. But who would I be if I didn't offer some kind of solution that just ended with dreary and dread? I'm not that kind of person. I have an idea of sorts, and I will lay out my idea, so please just bear with me for a moment. The first thing you have to understand is that YouTube doesn't care about your angry tweet. They don't care about a single person leaving in protest. They don't even care about hundreds leaving in protest or thousands. They don't care. What they care about is pressure, visibility, and alternatives. You want to combat this creeping ID to watch policy, the first thing is to make noise where it hurts. Publicly, consistency, and in ways that force them to acknowledge you. That means videos, articles, petitions, coordinated comment campaigns. Anything that keeps the conversation alive and impossible to sweep under the rug. YouTube thrives on inertia, so the moment we stop talking about it, they win. And I'm going to ask this, if you made it this far, I doubt you did, share this video or something, like it, comment it. The second step is to hit them where the leverage lives, advertisers. If YouTube is bending over backwards to make advertisers comfortable, then showing advertisers that users are furious about this will matter. That's what will happen. This doesn't mean harassing brands. It means making them aware that their association with invasive policies could damage their own image. The uncomfortable truth is that YouTube bends to whoever controls the purse strings. And if advertisers worry about the optics, YouTube will have to rethink. So, I need you to call the advertisers. You know how Collective Shout called Visa and the payment processing people and MasterCard? Yeah, you can actually call the advertisers. You can do that. You're allowed to do. You can actually call them. Look them up. You can call them. You can do that. Third, you have to diversify your internet diet. I know it's gonna suck. If all your internet video consumption is funneled through one platform, you're kind of already in a cage. You gotta go around. You gotta go around. Look at alternatives. I mean, it's gonna suck, but there's PeerTube, Nebula, Odyssey, even Twitch or TikTok. Different kinds of content. No, they're not perfect, and no, they won't replace the YouTube overnight. But every view you give somewhere else is a tiny chip in YouTube's monopoly. You don't have to boycott completely. Just stop giving all your time and attention to YouTube. Here goes the fourth step. Support creators directly. I know it's gonna suck, but $1 on Patreon, Ko-Fi, merch stores, newsletters. Newsletters are good. Find ways to make sure the creators you love aren't totally dependent on YouTube's rules to survive. The less they need for YouTube money, the freer they're able to speak against YouTube policies without fear of losing everything. If you think, my $3 a month doesn't matter, multiply that by thousands of people and realize you're looking at a safety net strong enough to give a creator that backbone. I'm going to use this as a moment to promote my Patreon. I'm going to tag it in the top comment. There's going to be like 3 links in the top comments. One is going to be for this section of the video. One's going to be for Quora, and the other is going to be for my Patreon. It's $1 a month. I know that you guys probably don't have $1 in this economy, but it does help. If I have 180,000 people following me, if I can get $1 from 1/10 of you, that's 18. Was it 18? Is that 18,000? 18. That's $18,000. If I had $18,000 a month, that'd be great. If I can get 1/10 of my audience to give me $1, I would rule. That'd be great. I could quit my job and give you actually better content than the garbage I'm putting out right now. Despite the fact that I am putting a lot of work into this, still feel like I could do better if I had more time. Because I do have work today. I have work today, and that's I gotta go soon. So yeah, you gotta resist the urge to comply quietly. When YouTube asks for your ID, ask why. When they push you into the verification process, make it known. Post about it. Share screenshots. Call it out in public forums. They want this to be normalized through silence. With each person complying alone in the room, the more people see that others are pushing back, the more emboldened they'll be to do the same. Quiet compliance is the soil that policy grows in, especially bad policy. Also, I know you don't want to read, but you're going to have to understand the legal side of this. This is part number 6, I think. I'm not sure what number I'm at. But these policies are being propped up by vague safety laws that governments are pushing through without debate. If you can, get involved locally, contact representatives, join digital rights advocacy groups like the EFF, or support campaigns that challenge invasive legislation. YouTube may be the visible villain here, but the pressure often starts with lawmakers who don't understand or don't care about the freedoms that are trading away. I've watched so many debates of people saying, this isn't that really big of a deal. The internet is just the internet. Yeah, the internet is the most important and powerful tool for a free nation in totality. That's what it is. I have spoken to people from Russia, China, Korea. I was speaking to people from the Easter Islands. I was speaking to many people all around because of the internet. I love it. Skype saved my life. It really did. That's the important part. Number 7, I'd say, is to talk to people who aren't paying attention yet. Right now, a lot of YouTubers, or at least a lot of YouTube users, think this won't affect them because their account is verified or they're over 18. This is for me. I have over 1,000 videos on this channel. I am a verified creator. You see my check mark? I'm verified. At the time of making this video, I have 180,000 subscribers. I had to submit my ID. After all that, they said I didn't have a positive channel history, and they said that my stuff was going against community guidelines, and they didn't tell me which one it was. This isn't just about the fact of the matter of one simple, small deviation of policy. This is about them trying to get my information when I blatantly do not wish to give it, which is strange because to get paid, I gave them my bank information. I gave them that, and they still wanted my specifically my ID. That's what they wanted. And they told me they needed access to my search history and they needed access to my history on YouTube, which they explicitly are asking so they think they can get away with it in legal jargon. That's what's going on. It will affect you. These systems always expand. Today, it's going to be mature content. Tomorrow, it's political videos, medical videos. This podcast is too edgy. Oh, this is an unverified choice. Anything, and I mean anything that is deemed unsafe will be asked for verifiable things. Anything. What do you think is unsafe? You think Grand Theft Auto is unsafe? You think Call of Duty is unsafe? Do you think Undertale is unsafe? Imagine that for 1 second. You think this shirt is unsafe? This shirt could actually harm a toddler, so it might be unsafe. That could be a legal loophole because anything deemed unsafe by sponsors, advertisers, anything in that variety. Me doing this, oh, that could hurt somebody. That could be deemed as unsafe because the algorithm and AI picked up my movement as too sporadic and fast. This is becoming a more prevalent issue, more than you want to acknowledge. That's an issue. You need to help people see this is about the long-term precedent. Not just the current inconvenience. It's how you build a real movement instead of a niche complaint. You need to keep going. You need to tell people who think this doesn't affect them. That's what you need to do. And very importantly, finally, remember this. YouTube only has the power we collectively give it. This is how everything works. We, the people, we as a united front, we, the viewers, giving thousands of millions of views. You guys built me into what I am right now. Think about that. All of you, every single one of you, using the Clippy profile, whatever you're doing, and protest, you guys built it. Sure, one grain isn't going to do anything. My favorite line, I'm thinking about this right now. My favorite line in all of fiction is from Bug's Life. Hopper is tossing grains at one of the other grasshoppers. And he says, "Does this hurt?" And then the grasshopper says, "You kidding me?" And he said, "How about this?" And then the other grasshopper says, "Nothing." And then Hopper unleashes the full storehold of food onto one grasshopper and says, "How about this?" And crushes him. He stands on top looking down at everybody else and says, "If one of them stands up, they all will stand up." I want you to really think about that. If one of them stands up, they all will stand up. This is a lesson that has been ingrained since we were children in Bug's Life. We have the power of unity. We, the people, have the power to grab the tools of oppression, grab them by the gonads and pull down. If enough users refuse to normalize invasive identity checks, if enough creators demand a different system, if the biggest people, if your favorites do it, if the best people do it. I'm not big. I'm not. So I need you to share this video. I need you to. I need you to like, comment. I need you to tell everybody. I need you to tell your favorite content creators to talk about this. I need people. I need you guys. If enough viewers take even a fraction of their time and attention elsewhere, it will matter. This isn't all about winning in one big strike. No, I'm not trying to do one big action. Everybody wants this one big thing. Everybody wants some one big protest that will change and shift anything. No, it's about 1,000 small acts of refusal adding up until the system cracks. Use their system against us. Note how this didn't happen over time. It was slow. Yeah, I guess they need to do this for advertisers. Yeah, I guess they need to use safe language. Yeah, I guess the apocalypse happened. Yeah, I guess, until finally we got here. This was always going to be the finality of what it was going to be. The internet was never meant to be a gated community. And the only way to keep it open is to refuse to walk through the gate. I am tired. I am sick and tired of the active refusal of revolution, the active refusal of hardship in your soul and anguish. I am sick of it. I'm sick of your defeatist mentality. I'm sick of your nihilism. Hence why I cut out this section of this video in order to make a separate video on the same exact thing. This video you're watching, or this section that is on the bigger video, is a separate video now. It's 2 videos, and I released them in conjunction with each other. One's released on the 12th and one's released on the 13th. I planned it all out because it's important to me. It is very important to me. I didn't want to redo the whole rant I just did because when I'm speaking, I can tell when something feels powerful, and that felt powerful. Didn't want to change that up. I want you to fight. I want you to claw at the legs of oppression and fight and gnaw and grab the kneecaps and numb as if you are a beaver building a dam, stopping the floodgates from going through. You are the army. You were the first pioneers. when YouTube started, whenever you started, you were there watching YouTube. You were watching Charlie Unicorn. You were watching Smosh. You were watching Ray William Johnson. You were there at the beginning, the inception, the infancy of everything. You have begun, and I'm so proud of you for being here. Please keep being here. Stick around, fight for something you love. If not for anything else in your life. I know that life is destructive. I know inflation is beating you down, and it sucks. It's horrifying. You hate every second of it. Oh, I can't do anything. The president did this. I can't do anything. I'm not strong, and I'm not stronger than our lawmakers. You chose the lawmakers. You can vote. And I know what you're saying, but I'm 16. What can I do? You can fight. You can make a comment. You can like the video. You can share it to your friends. You can show people. You can do that. You can actively do things. You can annoy them. You have a phone, right? You're watching this on your phone. Call your advertisers. Call those people. Call the sponsors. Call them. Annoy them. Hundreds of calls, thousands of calls. That's what it will take. It'll take everything, every piece of power you have, every second, every action, every moment, every feeling, every body, lift every voice and sing. That's a Black national anthem, just in case you didn't know. You can do that. YouTube. Broadcast yourself. Do it. And I'm not talking about the statement from YouTube. I mean from me. Broadcast yourself. Do that. Make a video. Make a post. Make a comment. Do something. Something. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it takes one small action, one tiny little thing, one little thing. Donate to your favorite creator's Patreon if you can. Mine, if you want to, it's in the top comment. I'm just promoting myself right now. Anything. I love you guys. I do. With my whole body and chest. I love you. I love this. I love the ability to make what I want to make. I love the power that I go into work every day and people say, hey, I watched the video, man. It was really cool. It really taught me something. I didn't know you spoke like that. I love this. And I have cried 10 times in between me sitting down, making this video. And as I stand right now, I have nerve damage in my lower back from 2 car crashes, and it is painful to stand, but I'm doing so because I am here. This is my protest. This is me fighting for what I believe in and how I believe in it. This is the power and relevancy I wish to hold within the strength that is resounding and pounding within my chest. My heart is a protest that I let rally against my ribs. That is Shane Khoizan, a great poet. And how do I know him? Through YouTube. I have met amazing authors. I have made connections and lifelong friendships with people I didn't even know existed. Internet Pit Stop is an amazing man. And I am a good friend of his now. I consider us to be friends. I consider us to be homies. He's an amazing person, and I love the content he creates. I don't know this person, but Funky Frog Bait. I love their content. They've done good work. Drew Gooden, Curtis Connor, Danny Gonzalez, all these other people that have made great content in a wide span of things, that have done so much. People that have fought and actually pushed advertisers. People that have combated Nintendo, combated Disney, fought Sony, fought these big platforms, taken down websites, caught people trying to harm innocent youths. The thing YouTube says it wants to do, and yet we have companies such as Roblox stopping that. Disney getting away with taking the life of someone's wife. We have this. This is horrifying. We can fight back. A collective front. We can get legislation changed. We can enact laws. We can pay attention. We can stop reading past the headline. We can do this. We, not me, not you, us. Trust. Broadcast yourself. Please. You're all I got. You are all I got. You really are all I have. And I don't know how to get this through to you. I'm not sure if this video will reach people. I don't know. I hope it will. It's very long. I hope I can edit this before I go to work today. Please try. This is all I have. For a lot of years, I've been trying to make somewhere with YouTube and actually have an audience of people, or at least somebody talk to me. I was happy with 1,000 subscribers, but you guys show me that you guys actually like hearing me talk. And I have worked so hard on learning how to talk so much that people think I sound like AI when I speak. You're obviously scripting and reading a script from AI of some sort. I can tell, but some of my allegories just coalesce into the way that I speak, and that's just how it operates. When I talk about the sun being as wild as 5 billion raccoons going off and exploding into an exaspera, it feels as though I'm saying vernacular that nobody has ever heard before. But I'm happy to even have that discourse. I'm happy to even talk to you about this. So I guess this is the end of the video. If you've watched both of them, thank you very much. If you want to share the video, I appreciate that. If you're here for me, I appreciate that. If you want to donate to the Patreon, which is $1 a month, I appreciate that. If you want to help me so I can make more videos of this, because this video may get demonetized because I'm talking about policy change, you may more than likely go ahead and do that. You're more than welcome to help. If you don't want to help, just watching is enough. Liking, commenting, or sharing would be more than enough to help me out in some way, in some capacity. And I'm not asking for you to help me. I'm asking you to help any creator that you see struggling or be scared of the content policy change that has made this their life hold and their living standpoint. I want you to care about them. I want you to do this. This is very important to me. It should be important to you. This is the future of our freedom we are talking about here. Are we a nation of states? What's the state of our nation? I love Hamilton. I couldn't resist the Hamilton bar. Please, fight. If nothing else, your voice will matter. If nothing else has mattered in your life, your voice will at this exact moment. No quotes, no nothing. Enjoy the outro. It's Like That by Taraj, T-A-R-A-J. Have a good day. Please.
I'm your nigga night, be my loyalty low. Happy to try what you need. Your world, I love to live in it. I love the ride when you're free.